Close your eyes for a second, and as a child, imagine flowing in and out of consciousness as you and your family members are rescued from a ravaging fire. Men who did not know me or my family from Adam. Men who without their efforts, my family would have been devastated, if not worse. And they do it day in and day out. As I was removed from the fire scene by those heroic men, said to myself that if I ever got the opportunity to become a fireman, I would. And if I succeeded, I hope I could be equally as brave and become a community hero. Back in the early 1890s, during a snowstorm in New York City, a former slave became the cook for volunteer firefighters at Engine 11 in New York City. Her name was Molly Williams.
Just like most firefighters, human beings, we do what needs to be done at the time. And the fact that she knew at that time that the men, mind you, all white men, and this volunteer fire company were in need of help, she knew the necessity of their service, and she just pitched in where she could and did what she could.
While quite a few of the male volunteers were ill and strapped to their beds, a major fire started nearby.
And then that's when a call came out, and she jumped into, fight or flight mode. So she was in the fighting mode. I assume watching these firefighters get out and do their thing often, she had an opportunity to engage as well, and she jumped up and went into action.
She did something that most men wouldn't do, and she did it heroically. It's a significant thing that she did what she did and inspired other people through her story to try and do the same thing.
I have to say this is inspirational to me. She has broken ground where ground has never been broken before and helped folks like me in my career, knowing that she has broken barriers. And that's why it's so motivational to me, and then what it's done for other female firefighters across the country.
It is on her shoulders and the many shoulders of those that followed her that blazed the way for other females to have an opportunity to achieve greatness in the fire service. She will always remain a monument of our strength and the respect we as a people of color earned and deserve as firefighters in the United States. As a young man growing up in New York, Wesley Williams dreamed that one day he would become a New York City firefighter. In 1919, when Wesley became a New York City firefighter, he entered the fire department that was nearly 100% white men.
My grandfather, he was the first black firefighter in Manhattan. Remember, that was during the time of Jim Crow. Black men, they weren't getting anything. We weren't getting any kind of real job assignments at that time. But yeah, his introduction into the fire department was a pretty impressive. Physically, he was definitely up to par. Unfortunately, he was challenged, and he was, the men in his company didn't want him there because he was a black man. And in some instances, he had to prove his mettle by kicking ass, put it bluntly. And as his career continued on, he became the first fire officer in the New York City Fire Department.
His experiences helped to mold him to not only become a strong professional firefighter, but also a dominant advocate for justice for blacks in the fire service.
Chief Williams is an impressive person. You know, right away when you meet him and you're in his presence, you can feel the man, you know.
Wesley Williams successfully achieved the rank of New York City Battalion Chief, and more importantly, he was instrumental in forming the Vulcan Society, a fraternal organization within the fire department, whose main purpose was to strengthen the brotherhood between blacks in the fire service and help them to formally face their challenges, concerns, and needs.
He knew that he had to start it out because a lot of the young fellows that were coming, African-American males that were coming in at that time, they went to him and complained about the problem that they were having.
And I was amazed that they would allow racism and whatnot to exist in such a dangerous job, you know, because when we go, we all go together, you know.
I first laid eyes on Dave Floyd in the early 1980s. He was fulfilling his duties as president of the Vulcan Society at Vulcan Hall in Brooklyn, New York. One could easily tell that this man was on a mission to restore pride to black men and women in the fire service and to prepare them for the obstacles that they're about to face, and the best way to move forward collectively to stand up against injustice. It is with great honor that I can continue to shine a light on the tireless efforts that Captain Dave Floyd brought to the table on behalf of the black men and women that he on many occasions stated were some of the best firefighters in which he had the honor to work and fellowship with.
So my dad passed away when I was 12. So I did have a lot of early childhood memories of him. He was always there during the daytime and then worked the night. So my mom with kids sometimes were like, "You have a mom?" You know, because they will always see me and my dad. There's pictures in the Vulcan Hall with my dad holding me as he's teaching class. I firsthand witnessed the leadership and just being there, being in the room. I normally, maybe once a month, get about 4 people that connect with me on Instagram and say, "You don't know me, but your dad changed my life." And we're talking about 25 years after he passed away, and I'm getting connected with people.
Dave Floyd is, I would say, a first in a lot of things in his job. Worked hard, very smart, and very diligent.
Dave Floyd is a great fireman and a very stern man, but a very likable person. He moved up the ranks to lieutenant and became a lieutenant, first black lieutenant in Rescue Company. Prior to his being assigned to Rescue 2, there were no blacks in rescue services. Since then, we have many. Eventually moved up to the rank of captain. He was a captain of 20 truck in Lower Manhattan.
I think that Dave Floyd was a visionary in that he envisioned black firemen organizing outside of the local sphere of New York, Chicago. He saw them evolving and better able to work together on common problems through organizing.
He wanted this society to move forward, always forward, onward, forward.
And to see the way how professional he was as a man, how organized he was as a person. He was instrumental in creating the International Association of Black Professional Firefighters,
which was formed in Vulcan Hall, a meeting of having the international and spread throughout the country.
They are still existing today, and we know that without their support, we would not be as strong as we are.
Way back before he perished, he passed on, he started putting together the plans for Dave Floyd's recreational day camp,
which was a dream of my father. I can remember, in the hospital before he passed away, this is something he really pressed on to help inner city youth. Back in the day, that's something that he always wanted to do for children, as well as a way to recruit and retain staff into what is the fire service today.
Well, I'm happy to be a part of the fire department and their families, because I don't think it's any of them that I could call right now and they wouldn't be here 1, 2, 3.
Like that.
Yes.
Like split.
And before Dave passed away, he told me if anything should happen to me, 3 guys from the Vulcan Society will be here to take you where you need to go. And that happened.
Chicago, we are going through a transitional phase. I think I can put it that way. 15 years ago, when our numbers were up over 1,000 personnel out of a 5,000 man department, the numbers have now dropped to right around 300. This is where it was prior to affirmative action being instituted here in Chicago.
We started the Black Fire Brigade June of 2018. Since the concept of it, we put up over 755 kids through this program, 195 single moms, and 14 homeless kids. To this day, we put over $20.5 million back in the Black community as first responders, as EMT, paramedic, police officers, Cook County sheriffs. Our kids work for every private ambulance company in Cook County. When you go into the ER and you see these young Blacks taking care of you in the ER, they came through this program as ER techs. We're taking more kids off the street and employing them. So we're workforce development, we're crime prevention, we're education and retention, introducing our kids to first responder, whether that's police, fire, EMS, 911 dispatchers.
Everybody can talk about, we need more Black firefighters. What is the preparation? What are we going to do? What's the roadmap? So we had a very solid roadmap that a lot of people could believe in. So the students come in, we prepare them for class, meaning we help them with their vocabulary words, we help them with understanding the body. Then once we drop them into the class, now they go on for 4 months, they become an EMT. Then we give them a choice. Do you want to be a paramedic? Do you want to be a firefighter? We're encouraging all of our students to come back, as well as now get your paramedic license. Because if you serve a dual role, you're more employable. So understanding the barriers, make sure our students have those certifications. When they sit down for a job interview, they want to be hired because you're qualified.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to say that, and I wanted to say that we're so proud that you guys are here participating in this. You can't make people do this. You really have to want to because of the work that's involved. But at the same time, this is who we are. This is what we do. And our goal is and has been that our young people in our community should represent our community.
I've been removed from the fire service for 20 years now. And during that time period, I saw that things were getting better than my predecessors, situations that they had to face and endure. I didn't have to endure. What I see happening with the fire service, with society as a whole, I feel that there's hope. There's hope for the fire service, and I think they're all professionals. There's not too many people that are doing this job that don't want to do this job. It's like a calling.
What do you think makes the difference here?
Diversity.
Yeah.
Diversity, yeah. It's
it's very diverse, like different cultures. So the food is amazing when we get a chance to cook.
Yeah.
The area is very diverse. People that you meet and helping the community and just engaging is very interesting. They all got their own story. They all got their own culture. The appreciation that the neighborhood shows you, the gratitude. You know what I mean? Like it's very rewarding. You feel good.
That's
You know what I mean? You're not doing it for a check. Some people are, but you help somebody and they show their gratitude. They show up to the firehouse. We just had a kid earlier today. He came and drew a picture for us of the fire truck, and like that stuff just showing up on a Thursday. You know what I mean? Just hey, we appreciate you taking pictures, asking questions. You know, that gratitude is very rewarding.
Yeah.
In closing of this showcase of black men and women in the fire service, we hope that it proves to be informative and educational. Black men and women from the early 1800s till the present day have achieved many accomplishments. They have endured many trials and tribulations, none of which deterred them from serving proudly in the communities in which they work. Their stories need and deserve to be told.